When Antoine Dodson burst onto the scene in 2010, no one could have predicted that a simple local news interview would turn him into one of the biggest internet sensations of all time. His passionate, unfiltered warning to "hide yo kids, hide yo wife" became an instant viral catchphrase that defined a generation of early memes. But as quickly as fame came, it seemed to vanish. Years later, many people wonder, what really happened to Antoine Dodson, and why did he disappear from the spotlight? It all started in Huntsville, Alabama, when Antoine was interviewed by a local news reporter after an intruder broke into his sister Kelly's bedroom. Furious, protective, and emotional, Antoine delivered a response that would soon make history. His natural charisma and raw honesty connected with viewers immediately. The phrase, "hide yo kids, hide yo wife," took on a life of its own, spreading across YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter faster than any meme before it. Then came the Gregory Brothers, a comedy group known for turning viral news clips into catchy songs. They remixed Antoine's interview into the Bed Intruder song, and it blew up overnight. The remix became a pop culture phenomenon, hitting the Billboard Hot 100 and selling over 1 million copies on iTunes. Antoine was suddenly everywhere, on morning shows, award shows, and even performing live. For a short time, it seemed like he had turned a chaotic situation into a thriving career. But behind the laughter and fame, Antoine's story was more complex than most fans realized. He wasn't a Hollywood star. He was a regular guy from a struggling neighborhood, trying to protect his family. Fame had come out of nowhere, and with it came intense pressure. Antoine was suddenly thrust into a media whirlwind that he wasn't fully prepared for. He had to deal with people mocking his accent, his background, and even his sexuality. What was once seen as funny or harmless quickly became emotionally draining for him. At first, Antoine embraced the spotlight. He appeared at award shows, did interviews with big outlets, and tried to make the most of his sudden fame. He even released his own line of merchandise, including t-shirts with his famous quotes. For a while, it looked like he might turn viral fame into a real career. But as internet culture evolved and memes became disposable, Antoine began to fade from the headlines. People moved on to the next viral trend, and suddenly, the world that had once been fascinated by him seemed to forget. In the years that followed, Antoine's life took some surprising turns. Around 2013, he made headlines again when he announced that he had renounced his homosexuality after converting to the Hebrew Israelite faith. The announcement shocked many of his fans and sparked intense public debate. Antoine said he wanted to live his life according to his new faith and expressed a desire to have a family. Soon after, he married and became a father. While some accused him of turning his back on the LGBTQ+ community, Antoine insisted he had simply changed his beliefs and wanted to live differently. That shift marked the beginning of his retreat from fame. He stepped away from Hollywood appearances, reality TV offers, and music opportunities. He focused instead on raising his family and living quietly. The man who once went viral for his loud, bold personality began living a life most people never saw coming: simple, private, and grounded. Still, Antoine never completely vanished from the internet. Every few years, his name resurfaces when people rediscover the Bed Intruder song. He's appeared on podcasts and made occasional TikTok videos reflecting on his viral fame. In interviews, he's said he doesn't regret what happened, but he's also been honest about how overwhelming it all was. Fame came fast, but it didn't come with the support or stability needed to last. Antoine has mentioned that while he earned some money from the viral hit, most of it went to supporting his family and legal battles related to the original crime. He didn't become rich, just briefly famous. Interestingly, Antoine has also expressed gratitude for what that viral moment did for him. Despite the challenges, he's proud that his words and his personality connected with millions of people. In one interview, he said, "I'll always be the hide yo wife guy. I just learned to be okay with that. Today, he still interacts with fans online and occasionally sells autographed merchandise. But he's made peace with living outside the limelight. The story of Antoine Dodson is a reminder of how unpredictable internet fame can be. In the early 2010s, viral stars were celebrated and then forgotten almost overnight. People like Antoine paved the way for a generation of internet personalities who now make millions from platforms like TikTok and YouTube. But back then, no one really knew how to handle sudden fame, especially when it came from something that started as turned into comedy. So, the real reason you don't hear from Antoine Dodson anymore isn't because he failed or faded away. It's because he chose a different kind of life. After years in the public eye, he wanted peace, family, and faith over fleeting fame. He found happiness not in headlines, but in raising his son and living true to his beliefs. For a man who once shouted to the world to hide yo kids, hide yo wife, it's poetic that what he ultimately wanted was simply to protect his own, quietly, peacefully, and far from the cameras. In the end, Antoine Dodson's story isn't just about a viral meme. It's about how quickly fame can come and go, and how one man turned that moment into a lesson about life, faith, and resilience. His name may not dominate the internet anymore, but his legacy lives on in meme history, and in the memories of everyone who still smiles when they hear those unforgettable words. Hide yo kids, hide yo wife.